gotta find me an angel.
You're listening to the Life After Loss podcast. This show is a safe place for angel moms and angel dads who have lost a child. It's a safe place to share, cry, celebrate, and connect to a community of parents who have experienced grief and gotten through it. Here's your host, Darcea Handy.
Angel moms and dads, thank you so much for joining me today. Today I want to start off doing something just a little bit different. I was watching one of my colleagues, Dr. Verna's Virtues, and I really like that she does these affirmations when her show starts. Well, one thing I want to do with us is I just want to take a moment to let you all know that, you know something, forgive yourselves. You deserve to be loved and you deserve to have happiness. So I'm going to put my hand over my heart here and I want you to just say, I deserve to be loved. I deserve to be happy and I forgive myself. And that's what we're going to talk about today because guess what? You survived. If you are listening to me, if you are watching me, you have survived. And let me tell you, our grief is so different. Pregnancy and infant loss, our grief is different. It's not like everyone else's. Yes, there are the stages of grief that everyone has, and we do appreciate that those things are available. This is Mental Health Month, so of course we're going to touch on that. But our grief is different. Let me tell you, when I lost my son, actually being in the hospital and being told that my son is not going to make it was unbelievable. It was heavy, so heavy for me. And I was like, okay, that they're saying that, but they didn't move me. I've talked about this before. They didn't move me. I stayed in the same room. So I'm still hearing all these other babies. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, my son is going to be better. He's going to be better. And he wasn't. And he ended up passing away. And that broke me. It broke my heart. It broke my spirit. It broke me. And when I say our mourning is different, it is because at that particular time, I was experiencing shock. It wasn't just denial. I was in shock. I was like, okay, are you sure you're saying that my baby is dying, but I'm hearing all these babies around me. I thought it was cruel for me to be there, you know? And that's one thing that we have to do. I always say advocacy is a part of healing, and it is, you know, because the hospital workers and healthcare workers, they need to know that we need something different. You know, sitting there hearing all those babies crying and thinking my baby is getting better, that was devastating to me. And it just had me in a place of unrealistic, you know, expectations, you know. So again, I'm yearning, I'm praying, I'm searching. Now, I do have people coming in telling me your son's not going to make it. You know, one of the nurses asked, do you want him to be baptized? I said, yes. But hearing all these other babies, you know, when I'm finally alert and awake, I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's going to get better. Maybe he's going to get better. So I wasn't planning anything. I wasn't really listening to anyone when they were coming in the room and they were trying to talk to me about what am I going to do, you know, with him when he dies? You know, what am I going to do? You know, just was nothing like that. And, but when I finally started accepting it, then I realized this is going to be different. This is going to be different from anything else. Even I think they had maybe a social worker come in the room. I can't even remember, but she said something, I can't even remember what she said because I was so in shock. You know, the person who helped me, and I talked about this before, is my friend Chelsea. She was sitting right there with me and my husband, and she was saying, you know, Darcea, this happened to me, and I wish I would have had the opportunity to, you know, bury my child. So I said, oh my gosh, you know, why are you saying that to me? And she was like, because, you know, he is dying. And I was like, but it happened. It happened. So what do? I was leaving that hospital. I didn't have any help. This was my son. He would have been 16 years old this year. So this was a long time ago. I was in a small town and there was just nothing there to help me. And I realized this is going to be a hard road for me, you know? I'm here today for you because I didn't have this for me. There was nobody like this for me. I had to do this by myself. Yes, Chelsea, she held my hand through it, but she said even with her, she didn't do what she wished she would have done with her son. So yes, I had to go through the stages of planning a funeral and everything. So for a while after that, like I said, my morning was different. I was searching, I was yearning. It was something else that I wanted, that I was looking for. And of course, in my Mother's Day show, I talked about my daughter, my son's older sister. She was there too. I had her, but I was just yearning for something else. Well, that's a part of our grief. That's a part of the stages of grief that we go through when we lose an infant or pregnant, or we experience pregnancy loss. It's not like everybody else's stages of grief. One of our stages of grief is actually searching and yearning. You are missing that child. You're missing that baby's presence. When your breasts are full of milk and you're supposed to be nursing in your mind, you're missing that child. You have to say, okay, I can't pump, I can't express this milk, or what am I going to do with it? Your body has delivered a child and you're ready. So, yeah, you're yearning. You're yearning. And then for us, we have to reorganize everything. Our stages of grief is different. We've got to reorganize everything. Let's see, you probably had your nursery ready, or your family members were ready to give you a shower. You have your baby's clothes. My first child was a girl, my second child was a boy, so I did have things ready for him. You have to reorganize your entire life. Your entire experience is different. This is not like a great great grandparent who was old. This is not like someone who was sick. This is not like someone who passed in an accident. What people don't understand about pregnancy and infant loss, the reason why it's so heavy and hard is because this is someone who's a part of us. This is a life growing inside. This is a life growing inside of me. This is a life growing inside of you. And for your husband and your spouse and your partner, this is a life that they help create. So it's different. It hits us different. We feel differently about it. Don't put me in a box. Don't put me in a category where everyone else is. I'm not there. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. So we reorganize our entire lives. You all know, if you follow me, in one of my very early podcasts, I talked about the fact that I traveled right away. Like once I was released from the hospital, well, after I had my son's funeral and everything, I left. I had my son's funeral in Webster, Texas, and I left and went to a whole another country after his funeral. My husband, my daughter, and myself, we were gone. I just did not want to deal with it. I was like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with phone calls and people asking a lot of questions. But guess what? Even there, I had to reorganize my thoughts because the questions are still going to come. Just because you leave doesn't mean that's going to take it off of everyone's mind. And me leaving, it people were confused because they didn't even know. They were like, okay, she had the baby. Okay, so did they just travel with the baby? It's too early for the baby to leave. Some people didn't even realize that I lost my son. So coming back, I had to change everything, really, at work. Just everything I did because I expected that people around me would feel what I felt, and they didn't. I expected that people around me would know how to speak to me or how to talk to me, and they didn't. I expected that people around me would have even remembered my son's name, and they didn't. I remember I was on a committee of child fatality committee, which is deaths of children from birth to age 18. It was part of my job at the time. And I was in one of the meetings, and my son was in one of the reports because he had passed away. Child Fatality Review Team. That's exactly the name of the committee. It's with social workers and medical examiners and everyone. And I was like, wow, these people, they don't even, they're not even sensitive to what I'm feeling. Again, I had to reorganize my thoughts because my loss was my own. My loss of my son was my own. It belonged to me and my family, my immediate family, and then some of my immediate friends who were there. But it was really difficult because I was mad. I was mad at everybody. I was like, how dare you put my son um, in this list, this report, and you know I'm going to be here. Well, they had to. It's a rule. Counties do it. It happens. It continues to happen. They have to discuss those deaths of children, birth to 18. Okay. We have medical examiners. It happens. But for me, I had to reorganize my thoughts and my expectations because I was thinking, wait a minute. I remember when I had my son's name is Aiden Christopher. And I remember when I went back to work and I had a client come in with a baby named Aiden. And I said, oh, I can't see this client. I can't see this client. So I went into the office manager's office. I was like, I can't see this client. The baby is the same name of my baby, my son. And she was like, what? What are you talking about? And I was so angry. I was like, she forgot my son already? Not thinking that, okay, she's the office manager, we're a county agency, we have a bunch of people here, lots of employees, lots of people having different things going on. I was thinking about me again. I had to reorganize my thoughts. And then sometimes we experience disorientation. We're like, okay, I know I had that, where did I put that? Or okay, I had this on my mind, and okay, I was going to talk about this, but what happened to it? Listen, let me tell you, writing notes became my best friend. I just had to write things down because I would honestly forget them, or sometimes my mind would just go into another place. And it happens. It's okay. Your life has been turned upside down. It is disorganized. You are disoriented. We do experience shock and yearning. This is a life that you wanted. Everyone says, I always say this, 1 in 4. That 1 in 4 was a life. I wanted my son. My son and my daughter were playing. As a matter of fact, I have a sister-in-law. Our children we were pregnant at the same time, both times. And she had a son and I had a daughter. And then she had a daughter and I had a son. I love her daughter. She's 16. She just turned 16 this year in April. I love her dearly. I had things planned out, but it didn't work that way for me. So I'm just letting you know, forgive yourselves. Give yourselves an opportunity to be happy. Tell yourself it's okay. I love you if no one else does. I love you. Love yourself where you are and start your healing where you are. You don't have to think about someone else's stages of grief. If someone is occupying your space and they don't understand, oh, she is so mean. Why does she get over that? Then they don't deserve to occupy that special space of yours. It's angel moms and dad have a special space that we occupy. And this is one of those spaces. This is a safe place where we can talk and we can be open and honest with each other about how we're feeling right here. That's what we're here to do, to support one another. So if it's someone who doesn't understand, then they don't deserve to be in your special place, not until you're ready for them to be there. So just remember, you deserve to be happy. You survived it. You survived it. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. I know it can be sad. Trust me, I know. People say, oh, Darcea, you're doing really, really well. Listen, my son would have been 16 years old this year. And I still celebrate his birthday. I still go to Babyland where he's laid to rest. I still have my moments. If you all remember, I did a Light Up the Sky with Love in October, and it was very, very difficult for me. So I know that pain. I know how it feels to be in a place where you feel like you're all alone and no one understands. Guess what? I do. Guess what? The other angel moms and dads who are here, we got you. We understand. We know how it feels. So with that, change up your grief list. Your stages of grief. Change up your list because ours looks different. What does it look like for us again? Mourning. Our mourning looks different. Shocked. We're searching and we're yearning. There's some disorganization, some disorientation, and some reorganization that needs to be done. But you have a support system behind you. We are here for you and we are here to help you. So with that, Angel Moms and Dad, I know this was a different episode, but I wanted it to be, you have to know that I'm here for you. And I know that you all are out there for me as well. Okay. So, you can follow me on Twitter at Super Angel Mom. You can always DM me. I get DMs all the time and I do respond. You can follow me on ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com, the Life After Loss podcast page. You can also find me on Facebook, Life After Loss podcast page. And then I have Life After Loss Ministries page where we actually have some more information and help resources that are available and different things that we actually do to help out more than just everyone who's listening to the podcast. There are other things that we do, but we're here for you. I love each and every one of you. And as I always say, take care of yourselves and each other. I love you and I hope you love you. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to rid yourself of guilt, and you deserve to mourn the loss of your child the way you're going to mourn. And with that, I'll see you next time.
You've been listening to Life After Loss with your host, Darcea Handy. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcast for new episodes every Wednesday. For more on this program, log on to ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.